Hello, my name is Tom Jackson. I'm President and CEO of the Ohio Grocers Association. One of my primary concerns is that of the Wage and Hour Division of the U.S. Department of Labor. Recently, they hired an additional 250 inspectors to ensure that U.S. employers who are doing more than $500,000 in annual sales are paying a minimum wage of $7.35 per hour, and that anyone that is not exempt from overtime pay is earning 1.5 times that hourly rate for every hour worked over 40 hours. It's the second part that I'm most concerned about, and that is the difference between exempt and non-exempt employees. Let's get right to the heart of my concern. In order to qualify for management employees to be exempted from overtime pay, all of the following tests must be met. Listen carefully. The employee must be compensated on a salary basis of at least $455 per week. The employee's primary duty must be managing the enterprise or managing a customarily recognized department or subdivision of that enterprise. Now, it's important, these next two bullets that I'm going to share with you are really important because they are the things that sometimes catch most employers. The employee must customarily and regularly direct the work of at least 2 or more other full-time employees or their equivalent. And the employee must have the authority to hire or fire other employees, or employees' suggestions and recommendations as to the hiring and firing, advancement, promotion, or other change in status of other employees must be given particular weight. In other words, they must be able to make a difference. If we are going to call someone a manager, they must truly manage. Generally, management, if you will, includes, but is not limited to, the activities such as interviewing and selecting and training, setting and adjusting the rates of pay and hours of work, directing the work of employees, and maintaining production or sales records for the use in supervision or control, appraising employees' performance, handling employee complaints and grievances, and disciplining employees and planning the work and being involved in this whole planning and implementation and execution of the various aspects of the department or the business that's being managed. So here is my concern, and it really is a concern. We have a produce department manager. This manager has 2 part-time employees working with them. The produce manager is definitely a working manager, doing everything necessary to run that department. That person could easily work 45, 50, or more hours per week. And if the federal wage and hour inspectors came in and discovered this scenario, it's my opinion that the owner of that business could be faced with a hefty back pay penalty for that individual employee, because they would determine how many hours of overtime this manager averaged on a weekly basis. Then they would multiply that times 104 weeks because they go back 2 years. And then they would multiply that times their salary at 1.5 times the rate. And that would then determine how much back pay you as an employer would owe this individual. Please understand, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but it scares me to think that many of our retail members, especially our small ones, who are working on very thin profits and very soft business models, would have to face a financial obligation like the one I just described. That price tag could easily be between $3,000 and $5,000 for just that one employee. Now imagine if we had 2, 3, or 4 department heads that would all fall into this category. So what are you to do? Well, there is one way of calculating a salaried employee that would be based on a program called salaried halftime, but it's far too complicated to include in this brief segment of OGA TV. So if you're interested in this particular concept, I want you to contact me at 614-442-5511. My extension is 7130, and I will be happy to work through that process with you. Or if you could restructure your department and change the way you're paying that department, but that's your decision. Or you could roll the dice and say, you know, I hope I don't get caught. And if I do, I'll pay the extra and I'll change then. That probably isn't a very good decision. but certainly one that some will make. Gee, I hope this has been a real helpful segment of OGA TV. We've tried to keep it very narrow in scope, informative in nature. And until our next segment, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can go to our website at www.ohiogrocers.org for more information on all the things that we do. Thanks for watching.